Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive.
Yeah.
We're going to be taking a look at data today.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of you out there, you're listening, you're business intelligence analysts, you're SQL developers, you're data analysts,
Yeah.
you're aspiring data scientists,
Mm-hmm.
data enthusiasts in general.
Mm-hmm.
We all hear the buzzwords, data is the new oil,
Yeah.
the future, everything.
Right.
Um, but, what they don't always tell you
Yeah.
is the kind of brutal truths about working with data.
The reality. Yeah.
The everyday realities, the stuff that,
Right. It's like a whole curriculum they don't teach you in school.
right.
It's the things you learn through experience.
And that's what we're going to unpack today.
Yeah.
I was talking to Coach Remy
Oh, nice.
recently, and he's a veteran in the data analytics world.
Awesome.
And he dropped some serious wisdom
Uh-huh.
about the less glamorous side
Yeah.
of data work.
Understanding these truths up front can really make a difference.
So brutal truth number one,
Okay. Hit me.
data cleaning is 80% of the work,
Right.
and it is not glamorous.
It's so funny because everyone wants to jump into the exciting stuff, the algorithms, the
Right.
patterns,
Yeah.
the cool visualizations.
Yes, the sexy visualizations,
Okay.
but you're a digital janitor.
You're a digital janitor. You spend most of your time scrubbing and prepping data.
And he told me this hilarious story about a project, this client, and it was just weeks spent untangling a spreadsheet.
Oh, no.
It was like hieroglyphics, multiple date formats,
Wow.
misspellings, missing values.
There's always something.
Oh, it was a mess.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Data never plays nice.
It's all these different sources.
You've got your website data, your sales data, your marketing data.
Yeah. And they all have their quirks and inconsistencies.
They all have their own little thing going on.
So, before you can even think about analysis, you're knee deep in data wrangling.
Yeah.
And for those of you working with SQL,
Oh, yeah.
this pain
A poorly formatted database.
can be a nightmare.
Brutal truth number 2. This one might burst a few bubbles.
Right?
Most machine learning models never make it to production.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
You can build the most sophisticated model, but getting it to work
In the real world.
in the real world is a whole nother
Completely different.
ball game.
Yeah.
It's like having this amazing SQL query that theoretically solves this huge problem, but never actually gets
Implemented.
implemented.
Yeah.
All that work just sitting there.
Collecting dust.
And there's so many reasons why this happens.
Oh, yeah.
Technical roadblocks, integration issues, complexities with the data pipeline.
Right.
Sometimes the business needs to just change by the time the model is ready.
Ugh, it's the worst.
Coach Remy actually specializes in helping people
Oh, cool.
navigate this challenge.
Awesome.
He teaches data professionals to think about the entire life cycle of a data science project. Okay.
From the beginning to actually deploying it and making sure it
It makes an impact.
makes an impact.
That practical experience is invaluable.
Okay. Brutal truth number 3. Bad data is worse than no data at all.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one.
I know, it sounds dramatic.
Yeah.
But hear me out.
Okay.
Okay, imagine you wouldn't bake a cake with rotten eggs.
Right.
You wouldn't do that.
No.
No matter how good the other ingredients are.
The cake is going to be a disaster.
Disaster.
Yeah.
And for those of you in business intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
this is critical because you're providing insights that drive decisions.
Right.
So the accuracy of your data
Yeah.
is paramount.
It's everything.
Coach Remy shared a story with me where a company almost made a major investment
Oh, no.
based on faulty data.
Yikes.
They caught the error just in time,
That's a bullet dodged.
but it could have been a costly mistake.
Very costly.
It's a perfect example of why data validation is so important.
Yes.
You need to have processes in place to make sure that you're working with clean, reliable information.
And that ties back to data cleaning.
Yes.
It all starts with a solid foundation.
Brutal truth number 4. Data bias is everywhere, and it's lurking in the shadows, waiting to skew your results.
This one's a biggie, especially now with AI and all these algorithms.
Imagine a virus
Okay.
hiding in your data set
Mm-hmm.
that is subtly influencing your analysis, and you don't even know it's there.
Right.
That's data bias.
It can happen anywhere. During data collection, sampling, labeling, even the way you define your segments in your queries.
Let's say you're building a customer churn model,
Okay.
but your training data only includes customers from a specific demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Your model is going to be completely off when you apply it to
Oh, yeah. Different customer.
different customers.
Totally.
And the scary part is bias isn't always obvious.
Nope. It can be subtle and hard to detect.
It can be really subtle.
You really got to be on the lookout.
Coach Remy emphasized the importance of asking critical questions about your data.
Like what?
Where did it come from?
Okay.
Who collected it?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any potential blind spots?
Right.
He also talked about the ethical implications of bias,
This is huge nowadays.
which are becoming increasingly important as data plays a larger and larger role in our
For
lives.
sure.
Our brutal truth number 5. This one might sound a little counterintuitive.
Okay.
Not all data should be collected.
Interesting.
It's easy to get caught up in this
More is better.
more data is better
Yeah.
mentality, but you have to remember that data represents real people
Right.
and their lives.
Real people, real lives.
Just because you can collect data on something doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
You need to think about privacy,
Yeah.
ethics,
Mm-hmm.
data protection laws like GDPR.
Absolutely.
Think about your own data.
Okay.
What are you comfortable sharing with companies?
Right.
What would you want to keep private?
That's a good point.
These are the same considerations that businesses need to make.
I like that.
Coach Remy told me about a company that collected a massive amount of user data
Uh-oh.
without really understanding the implications, and they faced a huge backlash
Yeah.
from customers who felt that their privacy had been violated.
It's a reminder that data collection comes with responsibility.
Big time.
Be transparent, get consent, and only collect what's absolutely necessary.
And that's a lot to digest.
Phew.
We've covered 5 brutal truths,
5 down.
and we have 5 more to go.
Halfway there.
But before we dive into those, I just wanted to remind you that Coach Remy has this fantastic coaching program
Oh, nice.
specifically for data professionals.
Awesome.
If you are feeling inspired to tackle these challenges head on and level up your data skills,
Yeah.
you can reach him at remy@coachremy.com.
Perfect.
His program is designed to help you bridge the gap between theory and practice,
I like it.
avoid common pitfalls,
Mm-hmm.
and really make an impact in your organization.
That's awesome.
Okay, let's get back to our list.
All right, hit me.
Brutal truth number 6. More data doesn't automatically equal better insights.
I was just thinking about that the other day.
You can drown in a sea of data and still come up empty-handed.
It's true. It's like having a library with a million books but no catalog system.
Oh, I love that analogy.
Right. You could spend your whole life searching and never find what you're looking for.
Right, it's about being strategic with your data,
Yeah.
focusing on the specific questions that you're trying to answer, only collecting the data that's relevant, and making sure that it's high quality.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that more is always better.
Right.
It's about finding the signal in the noise.
And that's where your skills as a data professional come in.
Exactly. You've got to extract the meaningful insights from the data you have, not get lost in the volume.
Don't get lost in the weeds.
For sure. So
Totally.
that brings us to brutal truth number 7.
Okay.
Data privacy is often an afterthought.
Oh, this is a big one,
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially in today's world.
especially today.
Companies are rushing to use data, but are they doing enough to protect it?
That's the question.
Data breaches are becoming more and more common,
All the time.
and the consequences can be pretty bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Not just for the companies, but for the people whose data is out there.
It's a huge responsibility.
It is.
And it's something that needs to be taken seriously right from the start,
Absolutely not an afterthought.
not just tacked on at the end.
Right.
You need to have strong security protocols
For sure.
and make sure you're complying with all the data protection regulations.
Things like GDPR.
And for those of you out there working with sensitive data, think about things like anonymization techniques, data encryption.
Right. You have to find that balance between using the data and protecting people's privacy.
Absolutely.
This is something that Coach Remy really emphasizes in his coaching.
That's awesome.
He helps data professionals understand the ethical and legal side of working with data.
Okay, you ready for brutal truth number 8?
Hemi.
Dashboards rarely lead to actionable insights.
Ooh, this one's a little spicy.
I know, right? It's a hot take.
But I think it's an important conversation.
We all love a good dashboard.
They look so nice.
All those pretty charts and graphs.
But do they actually help people make better decisions?
That is the million-dollar question.
But the problem is they often become vanity metrics, just overloaded with information.
Right, and none of it's really useful.
Doesn't really tie back to business goals.
It's like having a car with 100 different gauges but no steering wheel.
100 gauges?
You have all this data but no idea how to use it to drive the business forward.
Oh, I like that.
So if you are building dashboards, think about who's going to be using them, the end user.
Yeah.
What information do they need? And how can you make that information clear and easy to understand?
And actionable.
Coach Remy shared a great tip about this. He said to focus on telling a story with your dashboards.
Okay.
Don't just throw data at people. Guide them through the insights.
Help them understand what it means.
Help them understand what it means and how they can use it to actually make decisions.
Yeah, move beyond just presenting the data.
Right.
And actually drive action.
Brutal truth number 9.
Okay.
Business users don't understand data as much as they think.
This can be tough.
I know, this is a big one.
There's often a disconnect between data professionals and business users.
It's not that business users are clueless or anything,
Right.
but they don't always have that deep understanding of data.
The kind you need to make good decisions.
Right. They might be able to run some basic reports or create some simple charts.
Yeah, the basics.
But when it comes to more complex stuff like statistical analysis,
Right.
data interpretation, even understanding the limits of data,
Big one.
there can be a knowledge gap.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's where you come in as data
I
professionals.
was going to say, that's where we shine.
You can bridge that gap
Be the translator.
by explaining data clearly and helping them understand the power of it.
Yeah, and Coach Remy talks a lot about this in his program. Oh, that's cool.
He really encourages people to work on their communication skills
Yeah.
so they can effectively translate those insights.
All right, brutal truth number 10, the final one.
Let's hear it.
Data science projects fail more often than they succeed.
Okay, I was not expecting that.
It's true, though,
Yeah.
but it's important to be realistic.
Right.
Not every project is going to be a home run.
Yeah, you're going to have setbacks.
You're going to have failures.
But the key is to learn from them,
Exactly.
to iterate, to get better.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
For sure.
Sometimes the best insights come from the most unexpected places.
That's so true.
Coach Remy has worked on so many projects.
I bet.
And he's seen it all.
He's been there.
But he always says that failure is just part of the process.
You got to embrace the challenge
You have to embrace it.
and use those experiences to grow.
So there you have it, 10 brutal truths about data.
Wow, that was a lot. I'm feeling overwhelmed but inspired.
Right, like a little bit of both. It's a reality check, but it's good, you
Yeah.
know? Like once you know what you're up against,
Yeah.
you can prepare for it.
And that's where Coach Remy comes in.
Yeah, he's helped so many people.
He's seen it all.
He's the guy.
So if you are ready to really level up your skills and tackle these brutal truths,
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
his email is remy@coachremy.com.
Awesome.
And his coaching program, it's designed to help you bridge that gap between, what you learn in a textbook,
Yeah, the theory.
the theory, and what actually happens in the real world.
The real world is messy.
And it's especially helpful for those of you in business intelligence, SQL development, data analysis.
Anyone working with data, really.
Yeah, anyone who lives and breathes data.
So we've talked about the technical challenges, but what about the human side of things?
That's a great point.
Our biases, our assumptions.
Our blind spots.
Data is a powerful tool, but it's only as good as the person using it.
That's so true.
So as you continue your data journey, remember to stay curious
Stay critical
and question everything.
and don't be afraid to ask for help.
There are people out there who have been there.
People like Coach Remy.
Exactly.
The world needs more data professionals who are thoughtful and ethical
Couldn't agree more.
and who have the skills to really make a difference.
That's what he's all about.
So until next time, keep diving deep.
Keep learning.
And remember, even when the truth is brutal, there's always something new to discover.
I love that.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
See you next time.